What's going on, guys? Let's do a high taper with a 1.5 on top with the grain. And I'm using the Wall Vapors. Now, all you have to do is just keep following his head shape all the way around. If you have to pass it through a couple times, do that to make sure it's nice and even. Now, I'm doing the taper in the back using these cocoa trimmers. And these are some super hitters right out the box. But I create my first guideline right at the end of the earlobe. That's usually where I follow. Then I'm using the vapors now with the lever open to create the second guideline. Now I'm using the 1.5 guard lever close to start debulking and lining the spot where I'm going to fade. Now using this 1.5 guard with the one open is almost equivalent. So you fading out with that 1.5, it blends it good. Now using the one open, and I just start blending down. Sometimes using the that two guard method works perfectly, but there's some hair textures that you might have to use that one guard, and there's nothing wrong with that, man. You got to use what you got to use, man. Now using the half guard here, I have a lever close. I'm just blending out that one guard that I use using my corners and just tap away, man. Just using the corners. And if you got to open the lever, close it halfway. Here I'm using lever open just to clean out that half guard. And don't be afraid to play with the lever. Now go back, do some cleanup work with the one. Not to shape it up using the cocos. Look how crispy. These trimmers out the box, they hit. They're really sharp. I had to readjust these, and I don't like really zero gapping my trimmers, but I had to readjust them because I kind of dropped them and they weren't hitting the same. So then I had to play with it a little bit and make sure that uh, they still hitting good, like if they came right out the box. Yeah, I'm gonna start the side taper from the corner all the way to the ear for my high taper, and just blend in the top of that beard just because I'm gonna fade that out too. So kill two birds, one stone. Debulking with the 1.5 guard lever close, since I'm gonna blend down and that 1.5 guard equals out to the one open. It just cleans it out. Now I'm using the one, now the half, playing with the lever, opening, closing it halfway, stretching out the skin, brushing down. Now lever open, using the corners. As you can see, half of the blade is cutting, the other half is kind of lifted. Little touch up work. Doing the vertical bars. You just gotta stay tuned to the end so you can see the results of this cut. I use hairspray. You can use spritz, whatever, foam, wax, for the hairline to dry out the skin, making sure the hair is nice and straight. Blow dry it, and you'll see you get a way crispier hairline. Obviously, I'm not going too far back, just doing minimal work just to get a nice clean edge up. You don't want to push back if you don't have to. Now for the beard, I use a trimmer just above where I know I'm going to do the razor work so I don't go too down. Cleaning around the lip is important. You don't want no overhang. The bottom, as you can see, these trimmers are hitting pretty good. This client, I've been cutting for a long time. I already know where he likes his beard. It's already set up. So over time, man, when you cutting clients, learn their hair, learn their style. If they don't really change it up and they like the same thing, there's no reason for you to take longer figuring out how to cut their hair. You're using the shavers just to clean it up. Yeah, I like to use the shavers before doing any razor work. Yeah, I added a little bit of enhancements, and this is the kind of like the chalk pencil. I put some on my hand, and as you can see, I'm putting on the trimmer just to give it that little hash line. It's not necessary, but I like to make it pop and stand out. So I just like to make the haircut look good, man. I know enhancements is not for everybody, but for people that use them or like it, learn how to do it so you could apply it to them. You ain't got to be a hater. Stretch out the skin for the razor. Always got to make sure detail work, man. And I do not dry shave. All of my clients that get a beard get, shaving cream, hot towel. You let it sit, let it simmer, soften up the skin and the hair, and making sure, that when you use that razor, it's nice and smooth. And for me, I use sometimes 3 blades on one client. Guaranteed 2 blades to use, but sometimes three, depending, because I like my razor sharp and I want clean lines. And usually at the end of my cuts, after I do the razor work, then I go back, look for details to clean up. Yeah, trim the beard, freehand. I hear this barber came to talk to me talk to me about nothing, interrupting my workflow. But I don't let that phase me. You gotta continue what you gotta do. And it's focusing on your client. Everything else can wait. Unless it's an emergency. Barbers gotta get that straight. Stop talking and interrupting barbers when they're with their clients. What do you guys prefer? Freehanding a beard or using a guard? I guess that just depends how long their beards are and how much they want to trim. Because obviously, if they're doing anything under 8, then you can use a guard. But depending on how you want the shape, then freehand is always the best option. I remember that it don't matter how you cut, man. As long as you pick up a way, one technique, stick with it, and use that same technique, man, over and over with clients. Because that way you learn how to cut time and learn how to cut faster. And obviously, there's circumstances where you need to change the technique depending on like the hair texture. But for the most part, man, you could do one technique on every haircut. Nothing really changes. It's just like when doing a burst fade, one of those South of France mohawk or mullet type with the high tapers. Like once you know how to fade and you learn a technique, pretty much all those haircuts you can do them because if you follow the same technique, anything you can create with it. Here I'm using foaming wax, applying a little bit of hairspray, and then brushing with the hard brush. This one's kind of medium to hard, drying it in, brushing it forward, and looking out to see if there's any hair sticking out, whatever, just to make sure it lays nice and flat and it's clean. But as you can see, client approved. It came out fresh, medium to high taper fade with enhancements, man. Appreciate y'all. Thanks for watching. Make sure y'all like and subscribe and let me know in the comments what type of haircut or tutorial you guys want to see next. Appreciate y'all. Now, if you want to get these wall vapors, the link will be in the description and get your hands on one of these because these are good.